we called it, Connor Lucas may be coming. He's been very busy at work, so I got our backup in, Anthony Sardelli.
Yes.
How are you doing, Anthony?
I'm about as reliable as a backup as Jacoby Brissett, but I should probably be running things. But I'm going to be somewhere else in a couple of years.
Dude. All right. Anyways, ignoring
That's
that.
a different topic.
We'll hype up your Twitch stream while you're here. How's that been going? You've been trying to get into that, I've seen.
Yeah, Clav84, follow me. Please donate all of your most of your money. Money.
All of the donated money will go to getting him a new window so there's no blanket.
I don't know if I get that money. I don't know how to receive that money on Twitch, but do it. It's good for me.
If you send me the money, I don't know where it goes. I hope it comes to me.
Pretty sure it just goes to Jeff Bezos, but we'll run with it.
He gets everyone's money all the time. All right, so let's start off. First question. This drove me crazy. After the Super Bowl, I'm sorry we didn't cover Super Bowl analysis, but we just missed that week. Anyways, Jalen Hurts has been hyped up as now one of the elite quarterbacks. People are saying they take him over Josh Allen. So I just want to get your take on where you have Jalen Hurts in your ranking.
You could just off like the eye test go, oh, hey, he had a great season. He was great in the Super Bowl. Probably should have been Super Bowl MVP, which I agree with. He should have been Super Bowl MVP. Even with the loss. I mean, yeah, that fumble. I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch the entire Super Bowl. I was doing a lot of things, so I missed some parts. But, he didn't do anything in terms of, throwing the ball that was like, oh, wow, this guy's impressive. But
he had 3 awesome passes. I'll give him that. I thought the Super Bowl was probably, it was one of the best games anyone played all year, but My big concern is, do you think one game like that is enough to vault him up to that elite level status?
I think the problem with give him all the money right now and Jalen Hurts is the answer for the future. It's a little bit worrisome because he's not a Patrick Mahomes where it's Patrick Mahomes in a year where I'm pretty sure you can go back to all the episodes we did before the season started. None of us had the Chiefs none of us thought the Chiefs were going to be AFC West. You might have been, I don't know, but I didn't think they were going to be
I said
winners.
It was going to be competitive AFC West, but no, I thought they did exceed expectations. 14-3 and then 1 seed.
But I mean, yeah, and just outright winning the Super Bowl, I don't think anybody saw it coming. Now, if you want to argue penalties and the referees and the NFL script, you can go ahead and do that. But nonetheless, they are the Super Bowl champs. I think looking to the future, though, with the Eagles, they have one of the best offensive lines, and that whole skills unit is it. If you took the paper roster of the Eagles versus the Chiefs and just took that, get rid of the quarterbacks, you're like, oh, yeah, Eagles win this all day, every day. And the defenses, the Eagles' defense, better on paper. But the way Patrick Mahomes can lead a team and run a team is so much better than what Jalen Hurts can right now. But there's that potential with Jalen Hurts where it's he's here right now. Is it going to get better? I think I've doubted that man his whole career from college to now. I think it's going to get better. I think he's going to be better. Right now, I don't think
All right. Simple question. Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, who you taking?
Jalen Hurts. Hot take, but I think Josh Allen, man, I think he's one-dimensional. I mean, obviously he can run, but he's a gunslinger. And I think when it comes to the playoffs and big games, he doesn't rise to the occasion. There's just something weird with that Buffalo offense that I don't like, where it's we're going to run everything through Josh Allen. It's either he's the problem or the scheme's the problem.
All right, so listen. You're just like the rest of the sports media world, but that I heard hyping up Jalen Hurts. That was a vanilla take. You said it was hot. It was ice cold. Anyways, I'm out here. I'm going to tell you right now. Dak Prescott, what was it, like 3 years ago? Everyone was talking about should he get paid, should he not? Is he that good? I feel like Jalen Hurts is currently Dak Prescott in the Dak Prescott situation. He had the best defense. He was in the crappy division. He had the best offensive line. He had the best receivers. Like, when you look at that Eagles team, yes, Jalen Hurts had a phenomenal Super Bowl. He was the reason they were in it at the end. But you got to get there. And he didn't, like in the 2 games prior, he didn't do much to get them to the Super Bowl. I am just concerned that once you pay that man $50 million, and yes, that is the number that's being thrown around because of Deshaun Watson wrecking the QB market. It's $50 million for him. You're going to be potentially losing your center, your right tackle, which are both Hall of Fame players. It's going to gut your offensive line. You might not be able to keep Devonta Smith. That's the situation that the Bengals are going through right now with T. Higgins because of Joe Burrow. So I'm just concerned that I don't think Jalen Hurts is definitely probably like a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the NFC right now. He deserves his money, but I don't think I could put him as like a top 5 or 6 quarterback in the league. I would not put him over Lamar Jackson.
That's crazy. That's crazy because
Lamar Jackson has had nothing on his team, and he's carried it, except for when he gets hurt.
I mean, you can say he carried that team, but the defense has always been good. Like the coaching in Baltimore and the scheme in Baltimore has been what makes those teams great. Like winning with Joe Flacco, that defense is what was great. They had some little weapons on offense. They could run the ball, but the scheme got them there. I think Harbaugh is one of the most underappreciated coaches of all time, but that's besides the point. I think Jalen Hurts is definitely a benefit. He benefits from being in the NFC East, which was they overshine this year. But I think the way the NFL works, where your strength of schedule is weaker when you have a bad year, now the Giants you're going to see are going to have a hard time next year because their schedule is going to get harder. The Eagles are going to have a harder time. That whole division, I don't know if the Cowboys make it back to where they were at. I think I could see them leaping past the Eagles next year, especially if they lose pieces. But Jalen Hurts is going to be a top 5 quarterback for next year just because he's in the NFC. I think the benefit of being in the NFC... He
still has another year under contract, so his expensive contract won't kick in for 2 years. But my point is, we have seen, like, the Cowboys now are like, dude, I don't know if Dak's the guy. We've given him loaded roster after loaded roster, and that offense came up flat when we needed it.
Dak is clearly not the guy, but, like, you could have said that at any point. Like, it was kind of like the Baker thing where it's like, well, he's winning games. But it's like, yeah, but he's not like the team's winning games. He's just there. Jalen Hurts isn't just there. Like, if they were going to win that Super Bowl, which they were really, really close to winning, it wasn't because the team, I mean, yeah, it is a team, but like Jalen Hurts was also elevating that offense. His ability to run the ball is big. I just think in a long-term scheme of things, that's where he can kind of give you problems. Like, I think like you compared him to who'd you compare him to? Dak.
Yeah.
I would compare Jalen to like Cam Newton, and somewhat like Carolina made that Super Bowl run, then Cam fell off the face of the planet. That could very well happen with Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying it won't, but I think he's just proved a lot of things this year so fast. I don't like he passes the eye test now, but like I'm not going to guarantee anything with that guy. Where Mahomes, I could have sat there and guaranteed it. Burrow, I can sit there and guarantee that he's going to be in the playoffs every year. Josh Allen, you can do that, but you can't guarantee that he's going to get past that AFC Championship. That's where it's like Jalen Hurts, I can prove that he's going to be in that NFC Championship just because he's in a weak conference altogether, let alone a division that's weak.
All right, I'm going to run through the quarterbacks I have higher than Hurts. I think I have him 8. I don't know. I don't have the list laying around. I wrote it somewhere else. Stupid and didn't bring it. But here we go, real quick. Mahomes, Burrow,
Check.
Herbert,
Check.
Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, and this doesn't count, but I bet you Deshaun Watson has a better year next year than Jalen Hurts. There he is.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with any of those. Trevor Lawrence, to me, is like the guy that everyone next year is going to be like, wow, this guy is...
Look at that hair. It matches his level of play.
Look at
both
that
excellent.
Blonde hair, sunshine coming out. You know, he's going to be good next year. And if they don't bolster that offensive line and figure out what they're doing in the backfield, I mean, ETN, yeah, but like solidify him and give him someone that can back him up well. But that defense needs to get a little bit better. But that guy, like, that offense is going to be scary. So I actually give you Trevor Lawrence. I give you Mahomes. I give you Burrow. Herbert, yeah, Herbert is just, he just needs a whole new team. He needs to go somewhere else. Like, if I was him, I don't know what his contract is. Has he been re-signed yet?
He will be this year. I think he was drafted in the same draft as Burrow, so their contracts line up this year.
If I were him, I'd just go somewhere else.
So, you ever see How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
All right, so you ever see the cheerleader episode effect where it's like if you have a bunch of girls standing together, they all naturally look hotter because it's a group and so
right.
It's like their surroundings. I think the Chargers are like the NFL version of the cheerleader effect, where you look at it and on paper you're like, man, everything looks so well, like everything looks so great, and then in practice you're like, why is this so bad? Why doesn't any of this, like, why do they always fall on their face? Before we go talk about more teams, my brother Ryan brought up a good point. He loves the way Hurts runs, but like the dude runs and hits people like Nick Chubb, which is a great point and why he's like so fun to watch. But it's also a big scare for his health when you're running into people getting tackled like that, running that QB sneak, the butt shove over and over again.
Oh yeah,
it's just kind of worrisome that you're going to get hurt more frequently. Anyways, we're talking about other teams, so let's just put our money where our mouth is. Look at Super Bowl next year. I have odds somewhere, but let's start. Do you have any idea who you're thinking you like to come out of the AFC, NFC? We'll start AFC actually, because that's where we're focused.
AFC. I'm gonna go with. Oh, this is tough. There's a lot of good teams coming out of the AFC. It's between obviously the Chiefs. You got the Bills. I want to just shoot the hot take and go with the Jags. I'm loving the Jags after that last year. If they do all the things I said that they need to do,
I'm going to share my screen so you can have the odds.
Jags, baby. All right, I'm going on FanDuel now. I'm putting $5 in the Jags.
So I'm looking at it, dude, and that was one of my picks. I like plus 2,500 on the Jags to have an amazing year. They have a young defense that's getting better. They add Calvin Ridley, someone who can be a really good receiver. I like it a lot.
Wow, the Lions at 2,500 is crazy. What did they do in the offseason? They haven't even done anything yet. They're like, Lions, Super Bowl.
Dude,
2023.
The Lions were one game away from making it last year. There he is, Connor Lucas.
Hey, Connor's joining the combo.
I apologize to Connor for rushing him to get here. He has been working hard. Anyways.
He's eating chips.
Connor, we are talking Super Bowl. I pulled up the Super Bowl odds, 2024 Super Bowl. Not the one that happened. No one cares. That's 2 weeks ago. It's in the past.
Wait, I don't even see the Jags. You have to scroll down a little bit.
Can you expand? I mean, let me see.
Maybe. Oh wait, I scrolled down. Oh, you scroll down.
Yeah, I have that. You see him on my screen. Anyways.
Oh yeah,
Jags are a good value. I'm telling you, sneaky good value. Browns and Broncos, two teams hyped this year. It was definitely overhyped given the situation. They have talent though. I like their coaching. And you're talking plus 3,500. I think those could be good values. Where you hit when they're like 10-4, you hit the early cash out button. That way you don't have to worry about actually hitting the whole Super Bowl bet.
I didn't know that Nathaniel Hackett had ties to Aaron Rodgers, and they were talking about it, I think, on the radio or something. I heard it somewhere they're like, "Oh yeah, Rodgers is strongly considering the Jets." And I'm like, "Why? Nathaniel Hackett's the offensive coordinator now. Who would want to go there? Who would want to be coached by that guy?" And they're like, "Oh, he has ties to him. He says he really respects him." I'm like, he's about the only person that respects him right now.
Well, that's because it's one of those things.
He's a yes.
I was going to say, yeah, he respects him because he lets him do whatever he wants.
Well,
I love my mom. She lets me hang out till 2 a.m. and I'm in and stuff like that.
I don't think Robert Salah is a yes man though, which is a good thing because you want your head coach to be that kind of guy that's like stick to him. But I don't know. I don't really think that was a good move for the Jets, but I'm not taking the Broncos in anything. I think they're going to have another bad year.
All right. Connor?
I think Russell Wilson's done.
Noah says he's happy to have someone with some brains finally on this show. So who are you looking at in the AFC?
Thank you. No, all right. So back on the Jets thing, though. Saleh is not a yes man. However, you know what is a yes man? Winning football games. And that's the whole game that you play with Aaron Rodgers, which is how much crap do I want to put up with of his arrogance?
Do you think he's... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Connor. Look at that. Seconds in, and Connor's computer cuts out.
I think
he will be back.
I question Aaron Rodgers' will to win football games. I mean, yeah, I think he wants to win, but I think he gets quitty real quick. When the going gets tough, Aaron Rodgers quits, it seems like. But that's just I'm also an Aaron Rodgers hater. I've always hated Aaron Rodgers, don't know why. But yeah, like all the things people say about him. He's arrogant, this and that. But
all right, back to what matters. Connor, who's your AFC pick? Or who has good odds? Because I picked teams with good odds. I did not pick who I actually thought was going to win. I am not truly, supporting the Browns.
Did anybody say Detroit?
We're on AFC right now. Anthony
Sorry,
laughed
I was
at
looking
them,
at whatever's on the screen. My bad.
It's all. There's only
how many times
outright.
I gotta tell you? I'm like every other. I know everything about football. I still don't know the divisions, and every time you're like AFC, I'm like, I don't know what's on.
they don't let you split by conference. No, I told you I don't have the odds by conference.
I talked about how crazy it is that they're that
plus
low.
2,500. That is unusually high in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think they should be higher odds. I think they should be at plus. They should. There's no way they're over the Browns right now in odds.
All right, so
I guess
they're
it's
the
they're
NFC.
In the NFC.
They're in the NFC.
Still,
They are
over the Packers. Is it because Rodgers hasn't opted in yet?
Look at those Jets odds. This is 100% because Aaron Rodgers is going. Aaron Rodgers is expected to go to the Jets right now. That's what these odds are telling me.
I don't know. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. The Lions are. I'm high on them, but I'm pissed as someone was gonna pick the Lions. I wanted the Lions to be even higher odds, plus 4, 5.
I want the Lions to trade for Jalen Ramsey because I think that's all they need, and then I would love them more.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I know,
but
cool.
It would be cool. I mean, they do need they have a good defense for the most part. It's getting better.
They just need corners.
Yeah. You could draft corners. I don't know.
All right,
Connor
so
knows about
Connor-
the
They got
draft.
to figure out what they're going to do with Jeff Okuda. He's been hurt a lot. When he's been healthy, he's been okay in games, and then he's been locked down in games. So they don't know what to do with him. Got a lot of money invested in him. So
I was going to
he's
say
on, I
his
think
fifth-year bonus is coming up, and that's a lot of money for someone you're not sure about. All right, so Connor, we gave picks. We had Jacksonville, Cleveland. I said Denver too. We'll let you go back with your second pick. Who would be your second choice? We won't do it by conference anymore.
good, because I don't know the conferences. Like I would say a favorite.
Yeah, who you picking?
I would
Who you picking to go to the
say-
Super Bowl? Or you're liking the odds
I
of?
would
Either
say
way.
the Bengals would be my outright because I think Lamar. I'm not convinced Lamar's coming back. Kenny Pickett is trash. Deshaun, man, I don't know. He is the largest cap hit. I'm sure you knew this, Phil, because you love the Browns.
Yeah.
Did you know that Deshaun Watson is the largest single person cap hit for the next 4 years in NFL history? I bet you knew that.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
He's
like,
54
$4
million for the next 3 years, I think.
It
Is
makes
that good?
me look.
I don't know.
think it's good.
Someone gave a hot take that he's going to have a better year than Jalen Hurts next year.
I'm new here. That seems like a bad idea.
Oh, that was my spicy take, but that's just me.
Wait, you said that?
I said that.
I don't believe that. I think Watson's gonna. I think Watson
Phil,
and
what are
Russell
you
Wilson.
doing?
All
Are
right,
gonna
so
be
hear me
bad.
out. Hear me out.
This
He
show
hadn't
is
played-
called We. This show is called We Called It. It's not called We Suck at This.
I'm trying to
Should
get
be
my
called
Dan
that.
Orlovsky on, man. All right, hear
Man,
me
that's
out.
like a Skip Bayless take.
Dude, he was the clear number 3 player in the NFL behind Mahomes and Allen the last time we saw him in a full season when healthy, when active. And that was for the worst team in the NFL that year. I think the Browns go out, they get a second wide receiver. They already have a good O-line. They have Nick Chubb. I think they actually come out and have a good offense now that it's restructured around Deshaun Watson, who they have for a full offseason, who they have to schedule or build a more complete playbook around. So I am just in on the Browns. Actually, last year was the overreaction to what they did. Same with the Broncos. I think they rebound and have a good year next year.
That's a homer take. That's a Cleveland, Ohio.
little bit of a homer take.
It absolutely can be a homer take, and I'm okay with it.
That's not an
You're out here
objective
picking
take.
the Bengals to win the Super Bowl, and you're calling me a homer. I didn't say they're going to win the Super Bowl. I said I
Well,
like the odds.
to be fair, the Bengals are good.
Anthony, what's more likely to happen? My take, Bengals, or his take, Watson over Hurts? What's more likely to happen?
Honestly, your take, but it's close. I mean, anything could
No.
happen though. No, because anything could happen.
Someone's out here.
It's so hard to make it to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
I labeled my
You're-
take as a hot take. I came out and said this is spicy, and you're over here like, oh, mine's more likely to happen. Of course it is.
Nah, the NFL, let alone the Eagles, want Jalen Hurts to be good. I think he's going to be good next year, dude. The guy
they're
defies.
putting that in their script in the NFL.
He
script for
defies
next year.
odds, man. He defies odds. Hey, you can't doubt Jalen Hurts. That
All
man
right.
overcomes everything.
All right, so now that Connor's here, I'm going to stop sharing my screen on this, and we're going to get his take on my list of quarterbacks. I would take over Jalen Hurts. People have him going ahead of Josh Allen. I think it is utter malarkey. So here we go.
In what, fantasy or just general?
Like if you're an NFL team, I'm not talking
Oh.
fantasy. In fantasy, I think Jalen Hurts is like a top 3 QB next year, but whatever. Anyways,
Top one.
give me
He
Mahomes,
was this past year.
Burrow, Herbert, Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, I technically said Deshaun Watson because I was giving out my spicy take.
You're dumb with the capital D.
All right. So but anyways, those are my legit 6 that I would take over Jalen Hurts. Do you have a problem with anyone? I'm guessing Lamar is the one real one you would have a problem with.
He's the wild card.
So my take was I've seen Lamar do more with less. Like Lamar was on pace to have an MVP year this year until he got hurt.
What?
Dude, the Ravens were the number 1 seed. He had suffered losses at the receiver position, and I think if they get the 1 seed until I know Mahomes went and broke records, but I still think Lamar would have been the number 2 runner-up to him had he been healthy the whole year.
Health is a problem.
I'll give
you,
but you can't say that and then say Jalen Hurts is going to be healthy. Jalen Hurts missed games. Jalen Hurts played Hurts in the playoffs and did not look as well.
He game. How many Lamar missed?
I know Lamar's missed more, but I'm just saying, as you get older, your body gets weaker, and Jalen Hurts runs physically, man. That dude is not Lamar trying to get down. He tries to run people over.
I don't know how many games you've actually watched of the NFL this year, Phil.
What are you
how
talking
many?
about?
Like 2? 3? 4?
I watched Lamar when he won. I'm just kidding.
When he beat the Browns.
I think Jalen Hurts is also built better than Lamar.
Where do you have Jalen Hurts?
Where do I have him? Mm-hmm. I'm fine with your rankings minus Lamar. I think
so you have him as the number 6 quarterback right behind Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, probably.
Mahomes, Herbert, Allen, Burrow, Lawrence, Hurts.
Yeah. Herbert's. Yeah, I think I'm fine with Herbert there. I think I'm
Herbert.
fine with that.
All right.
We get
now here it is.
He needs to win games. He needs to start winning games.
Here's the other piece you missed, and we'll just make it real quick. I said in 3 years we might be looking at Jalen Hurts as the next, as what Dak Prescott was. Now it's just a concern, but Dak Prescott was winning with a loaded roster in the crappy NFC East. Jalen Hurts had the best offensive line in football, best defensive line in football, best receivers, best corners, and it's all going to come tumbling down when that dude gets a $50 million contract, which is actually what the talks are currently. He's going to lose his 2 Hall of Fame offensive linemen. He's already going to lose a corner, part of the D-line, this next year. Do you think once people start getting paid and he goes down to just A.J. Brown and friends and loses weaker offensive line, that you could see, some regression in his play? Definitely still deserves the money, but I don't know if you can see elite quarterback carrying production out of him.
Do you think that Jared Goff with the Lions is considered elite?
No. I said like I said, Jalen Hurts is what I have 8, top 6 to 8. I don't think he can break top 4, is what I'm saying.
What do you consider elite?
Mahomes, Burrow.
So what?
Allen.
4? Top 4?
Well, it's not top 4 or 5. It's how good are you? Can you carry a team, or can you carry an offense mostly by yourself? I mean, can I take away Devontae Adams from you and you still carry the offense? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. When you pay for some of the roster, do you think he goes down in your QB rankings? Connor, goodbye. Connor will be back to tell more about his take on why Shane Steichen saves the Eagles. Anthony, I know we covered all this before. You have anything you want to just throw in?
Wild take, but the Cardinals playoffs. No.
Dude,
I
everyone's
can't say
talking
that.
about the Cardinals like Caleb. They should take Caleb Williams. They're the worst team in the NFL, which I disagree with. But.
They have them as they're predicted as the worst team. They're going to be the worst team next year, and I'm like, that's crazy because the Houston Texans are still around.
All right, Connor, continue on the Shane Steichen. I'm gonna laugh so hard if all of that was cut out because of your browser. It's all right. We can have this live. Oh, you joined again?
I'm back.
It says there's two of you in here. I'm curious what this looks like on the live stream.
Point being, I am more worried about coaching staff changes than I am about personnel staff changes. Garrett was when Dak was crushing it, blah, 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 blah. He was great. Kellen Moore was amazing. Different voice in the room. What's his face? McCarthy, who's not a very good coach in my opinion. Different voice in the room versus Bruce Arians with Tom and Leftwich because they had Todd Bowles. Yes, we're not talking head coach and offensive coordinator. I mean, I know there's a difference, but still, different things, different changes. I think coaching impact is way more important than personnel impact. We've talked about that. You can coach yourself to wins. You can, ultimately the players have to win it, but you can coach yourself to certain wins.
All right. Well, let's take everything you said and completely ignore it because who cares about coaching moves when Offseason free agent transactions are happening right now. So
You think the Broncos care?
okay, all right, no. I'm not talking about real NFL teams. I'm talking about the people that listen to us. All right? Of course NFL teams care, and I believe you're right, and I think coaching matters a lot. But our listeners only care about their quarterbacks and the people who make money. So let's get to it. Aaron Rodgers, is he a Green Bay Packer next year, yes or no?
No.
All right, where's he going then to?
Jets.
Anthony.
I think he's going to the Jets. I really don't know where else he would go.
All right. Derek Carr. Where does he go?
I told you a long time ago. I think he's a Titan. Back up with Tampa Bay.
I didn't know Tennessee was shopping, but it makes sense. It would be good for them but they don't really have a receiving core for him to throw to. But
they just cut Bobby Trees.
They did. I saw some. They spent a second, a fourth, and like $40 million on Julio Jones and Bobby Trees, and could have used that money on AJ Brown.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's how you lose your job as the Titans GM.
Yep. I don't think actually happens because I think they're going to sunset Tannehill and wait for the next draft. But that's my hot take, almost as hot as Deshaun Watson. He's so much better than Jalen Hurts. So
you guys are out here like I'm over here just stating that is my hot take for the year, and you're over here just smashing.
My hot take is dark horse to sign Derek Carr is the Tennessee Titans. I think he.
Does anything happen to Ryan Tannehill? Do they trade him?
Cut him. Who cares? Get rid of the cap space. Nobody cares.
What do we measure the success on Deshaun Watson and Jalen Hurts next season on?
It doesn't matter. It's an ambiguous term because Phil said it, and Phil only uses numbers in his job. So
stats or wins?
Ask Phil.
Through week 9.
Oh,
man. The odds to win MVP will be better for Deshaun Watson. There you go. That is, and I'm putting that as a spicy take because I have it at about like a 15 to 20% chance of happening. So I'm saying
interesting. That's an interesting measure, but okay.
An interesting measure. That is how you should measure like a player's performance. Is how likely are they to win MVP? Oh man, I got some LOLs.
Some people are more important. Some people are more important to their team as an MVP, like Lamar, and then I don't know if they necessarily like. For example, I
think that argument would favor Jalen Hurts though next year. And what I'm saying is that
was Baker Mayfield when they were like really good. Was he MVP? Was he like really good? Was he?
No, I think that had to be like Lamar or Mahomes' year. I can't remember who won it, but that was the year that someone else is scoring 5 touchdowns a game and Baker's happy to throw 2. He's on the Browns. He's going to be out of the league in 2 years.
We'll take it though. That's an interesting measure.
All right, I think it's a fair measure. I would do for the full year, but the Browns are going to fall off, and I wish I could do like Browns make the playoffs, go 12-5, but no, they'll be like 7-2, and then they're going to come tumbling down.
So they're the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, that's a fair comparison. All right, here we go. Last notable name. Notable name. That's a terrible way to put that. Saquon Barkley. We talked about it a little. You have any take on where he goes if he leaves the Giants, who say they are not close in terms of a contract? I think like you're talking 3 to 5 million years different. Canes or pizza? Also, someone wants to know in the chat. Should they eat Canes or pizza?
Canes.
Follower. You wanted to say pizza. I could feel it.
Oh, really? I was actually trying to take your. Where's Saquon gonna go? And I gave you that one, and you were like, let me switch it to Canes or pizza. So
hey, There
Okay.
are things
He
important.
was thinking
in this
football,
chat.
all right? He was thinking
Bears.
football.
Things in this chat are very important.
Bears.
That's an interesting one. The
They have
Bears
the
would be a
most
great
cap
fit.
space. They have the most cap space by $40 million. They've got a Jag in David Montgomery. They've got Jag. For viewers, aka Phil, Jag means just another guy. So
I know what it means, and we
Sure you
have
do.
together mocked David
Anyways.
Montgomery.
they have $40 million more cap space than the next closest team. They can pay him what he wants. They need a running back to pair with Fields that's elusive. They have enough time to go out and also sign another running back. They're probably going to draft even more offensive linemen. You could get three major names at left tackle, running back, and wide receiver with the cap space that you have.
I was going to say, if they get Barkley, they would want to hit receiver for sure. Maybe two receivers, but
The only other thing is those two dudes out there, Dan Jones and Saquon, are not blinking. Either one cannot blink first to get the most value because they will franchise tag the other one. So whatever happens, if they both don't come to an agreement, it's prisoner's dilemma. It is a classic game theory. Hey, Phil, game theory. Is that a math thing, or is that also not included in here because that means it has to do with numbers?
Dude, game theory is a math thing. It was developed by
It
John
is a math
Nash.
thing. That's my point. But you're saying you don't like math, and when you talk about football, so
we
won't
got to do
get-
this thing.
We won't get started on the difference between math statistics and whatever journalists
fine.
call statistics.
so
You guys we got
prisoner's
to do
dilemma.
this.
Prisoner's dilemma. These two both can hold out and wait for and force their hand and get the most even quote unquote benefit distributed across both of them. They both get paid a lot of money. Will it be the most for either one? No. But they both stay on the same team. Or one gives in, gets paid a crap ton of money, and then the other one forces the other one to walk. Take your pick.
In no world should you ever write a check to Daniel Jones. Give him the franchise tag.
I
All
agree.
right.
I agree.
All right. Anthony, you have any thoughts?
I honestly didn't even know what his contract was before this. I didn't know he was going anywhere, but yeah, I could see him leaving, especially if the Giants are thinking future, because they're going to go, hey, we need quarterback now. Unless they go out and get someone like Rodgers, which I don't think is remotely going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. The Bears sound like a good destination. I don't know who else would even needs a running back.
Miami.
I would say
Miami
Connor
can-
threw Miami out. I worry about their cap situation, but that is a team I would love to see with Saquon.
Detroit,
Miami-
maybe? No, they got
Well,
They got-
hold on. Developing story as of about 4 o'clock today. Supposedly, DeAndre Swift is like asking for a ton of money, even though he hasn't played a full season yet, and they may let him walk. So
Yeah, but-
Detroit is a
Hello, I'm
possibility.
DeAndre Swift. I average 17 yards a carry, but I only get 3 carries a game.
Yeah, but the thing with like, oh, hey, we need a guy that plays games. They're like, oh, let's go get Saquon.
He made it through the last season. DeAndre has yet to make it through one full season in 3 with the Lions.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't pay him a ton of money either, but like paying Saquon a ton of money is going to be just as rough because that guy could go down for a whole season at any point. I'd rather take like a DeAndre Swift for like 10 games and then maybe he'll be good for the playoffs than like Saquon, who could possibly be out forever.
All right. So last question.
Dark
Just to wrap
horse,
it up.
dark horse. Broncos.
They can't
I got a-
afford him.
I got a good
They're
dark
paying
horse.
their quarterback slightly
They're
less
the
than
new
Deshaun
LA.
Watson.
They're the new LA Rams. They're the new LA Rams.
Just-
Devontae has just been found out that his knee's not going to be ready for probably he's going to start out on the pup.
I got a new
Unfortunately.
dark horse. Mixon's going to be locked up, I'm pretty sure. Cincinnati, baby. They're not going to let P. Ryan run that backfield.
Yes.
Dude, no, they're going out and they're drafting Bijan Robinson. Actually,
they're going to get somebody good.
However, there is absolutely zero chance that they sign Saquon because, like I've said a billion times, they are the opposite of the Browns. They won't go out and take risks at all. If you put a gun to their head, they have never, ever made a significant splash trade. Seriously, think about it.
Are you kidding me?
Say one time.
They brought in Eli
Collins.
Apple. They brought in Eli Apple to play corner. You don't think that's a risky move?
Splash trades. Eli Apple was a free agent and was out of the league on somebody's practice squad.
He's terrible. I love trashing him. All right, last question. Actually, this is a big one. We talked about the Bears. They have the number 1 pick. I've seen this a couple times, and I'm really interested because I might do it. Would you trade the number 1 pick, or would you trade their quarterback?
Number 1
Justin
pick.
Fields. So would you is Bryce Young that much better is the argument? Because I don't think you trade Fields for CJ Stroud. I wouldn't do that swap. But if you believe in Bryce Young, I think that is a guy that he has enough talent that you could reasonably do that.
Was Josh Allen good before he got Stephon Diggs? The answer is no. Was Jalen Hurts good before he got A.J. Brown? The answer is no. Was, I don't know, insert name here. Was Joe Burrow as good until he got Chase? The answer is no. It's good to use
the word as good because I thought he was actually solid when his rookie.
He was good as a rookie, but you
didn't see it.
Nuclear.
You did not see what you see now.
Nuclear when he got Chase.
Yeah.
We've been grading Fields on a curve because his offensive line is hot garbage. And I'm not even 100% saying I'm in on Fields. Like, he is the guy. I'm saying neither of the guys give you above and beyond what Fields will already give you in that system. And I know this is like not important to winning games, but they love him in Chicago because he resurrected, at least made them exciting, an exciting 3-13 team. And he's a super athlete. And I'm talking a super athlete. So those are all upside things. And I get it. He's in his 3rd year, but he will be going into his 3rd year and truthfully has not had really a true chance. Who did he start with? What was that dude's name? Nagy. Nagy.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
Nagy was first. A patchwork offensive line. Darnell Mooney's your 1. Chase Claypoop comes in and he's, well, exactly as it sounds, does nothing, not a single thing. You have a clean slate here. I'm taking a clean slate. I'm trading out. I'm going to go get, I don't know, I think the Colts. I think the Colts have the 7th. Make the Colts trade up. You get their first this year, maybe a 2nd this year, a 1st next year, and you write it down. I mean, we joke about how dynasty is and trading and stuff like that, but some of that is part of real life. I'm going to bank on getting firsts for the next 2 years because guess what? Next QB draft is loaded. They said this year they did the next 2 Devy drafts, like in terms of like PFF, I think mocked it. They said the next 2 drafts would be Caleb Williams and Drake May would go over, and potentially the mullet from Texas would go over C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young this year if they were eligible today.
All right, Anthony, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you keep Justin Fields. I don't think he's had anyone of a chance. They need to get receivers. They need to bolster that offensive line. So, yeah, I mean, you try to get as many first-round picks as you can and give them a chance. Don't do what you did to Baker and Cleveland and shuffle through the head coaches. Give them some stability. Justin Fields is a hell of an athlete. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. He's only going to get better. I don't see why you would give up on him right now. And like the biggest thing for me was like giving up on guys like that early is you go see him play for another team and start doing well and like have success. That stings. So I mean, if you had any faith in that guy when you drafted him, you got to give him a shot.
All right,
The
so
only
my
wild
thought
card
with
here
this-
is polls. The only wild card here is polls. Polls did not draft him. GMs, head coaches, owners all like to be tied at the hip to their guy.
Their guy, yeah. That's
So
I
the
didn't know
only
that. That's a
question
good point.
is, does Ryan Poles believe that Young or Stroud offers them better opportunity right now than
All right.
Justin Fields?
All right, so my thought with Fields is, one, Bryce Young is not a Chicago quarterback. He's so small, and you're in the Windy City. He has a good arm, but he's not a big physical athlete like Justin Fields. Like, he just doesn't fit Chicago in terms of what you need to play there. But also, people love the new shiny objects that are available to them. You know, like, oh, I can have a boat or the mystery box, and the mystery box could be anything, even a boat kind of logic. And so if you're an NFL GM, you're saying, look at this Bryce Young guy. He has this great tape. He does all this. I want that. It's like, all right, we've seen Justin Fields play well at the NFL level, actually. He's produced. And then you're going to go to Bryce Young and be like, but he could be anything. He could be Mahomes. The dude's small, and I don't know if that's the truth. However, if NFL GMs think that, they're willing to trade you more for Bryce Young than they are for Justin Fields. Like, I don't think the Colts would give you their first-round pick for Justin Fields. I think they would give you 2 firsts and a second for the right to draft Bryce Young, though. Same with, like, I'm thinking other teams. It was the Falcons. That was the other big one, where I think that he would actually fit Arthur Smith's system, that kind of Marcus Mariota run system for Justin Fields. Okay.
I forgot
Just
Atlanta
interrupt
was
me.
even a team. When you just mentioned the Falcons, I'm like, oh, they're still in the NFL. They still can do things.
That dude ran the triple option last year, didn't he? Ha ha, Connor's computer cut out. He'll be back and ready to smash Arthur Smith. But, Anthony, I don't know if you listen to us a lot. We trash Arthur Smith all the time for just absolutely loving to not use the fact he had Drake London and Kyle Pitts, 2 top 10 receiving options, drafted receiving options, and just completely wasted them by running the ball up the gut.
They disappeared, which is like, oh, hey, you had a good game plan. But Drake London started off great, and then went non-existent. I'm like, why? Like, what's even going on? He would get like 1 target a game at the most.
Because he like, again, Arthur Smith, in neutral situations, ran the ball 60% of the time. So, meaning, exactly as it sounds, it could go either way. Statistics that Phil hates would tell you it's statistically 50-50 for you to run or pass here. Dude runs the ball 60% of the time. So that means on first down situations, dude's like 90% running the football, which is dumb. You have and he sets up his play action pass, but his play action was used to having Derrick Henry run the ball 60% of the time. He doesn't have that. So, again, that's beside the point. But if you're going to put somebody in there, why not put the ultimate run-first quarterback? Shouldn't say that. The ultimate threat of a run-first quarterback and put Lamar there.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Right. That's enough. We're at our time limit. Do you guys have any spicy takes? Any more wild card teams you think might sneak into the playoffs? Or just, I don't know, hot food takes like buffalo chicken dip?
Houston's going to go 500 next year.
Detroit's not going to make the playoffs. Yeah, nobody saw that coming. Jared Goff's going to have a come down here.
No.
I was going to say the most overrated team going into next year based on Super Bowl odds is the Los Angeles Rams. They're so bad.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford might not play.
He is going to play.
For more than a week. That dude
He
has.
said he's coming back.
Do you think he's going to retire?
Do you honestly think Sean McVay would have come back if Stafford was out? Honestly, if he hadn't had...
If Stafford comes back and plays, I don't know how long he's going to play for. How about that?
Oh, I got a really good hot take.
All right. I don't know if you guys have seen Saturday Night Live, but Connor, this is for you. If the moon was made of barbecue spare ribs, would you eat it?
I would.
I'm going to shop with a nice core Budweiser, too.
Nice, cool Budweiser.
All right, my last hot take. Tom Brady is actually going to be a good commentator.
In a year.
In a year? What?
After his year off.
Oh, so he's taking a year off? He's going to be a great golfer. We already know he is, but...
He said he was taking a year off.
Aaron Rodgers kicked his butt.
I'm telling you, I think I am higher on Bryce Young than a lot of people. And I get it, his size is a problem. I think his ceiling is Russell Wilson. I think his floor is like out of the league, and I get that. I think Stroud is more prototypical, but I think that division, you guys forget, that division is like wide open. So, I think, and what Texans are in, I think Texans are with who? Texans are with the Colts, they're with the Jags, and they're with the Titans, right? Mm-hmm. Fine, you got the Jags, but the other three, this is why I say I think they could go 500. Tennessee is in flux. The Colts are going to be just as bad, potentially. They don't have a ready-to-win-now roster because of their, surprisingly, all of a sudden, their health on their defense and their quarterback situation.
And their offensive line fell off a cliff.
It
was bad.
Lyle Collins is the number one rated tackle in the NFL. Or not Lyle Collins.
Laramie Tunsil.
Laramie Tunsil's number one tackle. So you got the left tackle down. Got Dameon Pierce. Mechie comes back. I think you got Nico. I think they go out and draft another wide receiver this year. I'm serious. I think they have Stroud at 1 or 2, and then they also get they have another first, don't they? I thought they had another first this year.
Yeah, they have the Browns first,
which so I think they could. I 15. Think they could. If what's his name falls, if JSN or Quentin Johnston falls, I think you just get 2 right there. I just think DeMeco Ryans is an unbelievable head coach, and I think that they're going to adopt that. And I think he gets a fresh slate a clean slate with whoever he picks.
I said DeMeco Ryans, when he got hired, was going to lead them to like 3 8-8 seasons or 8-9 seasons in a row, and then he's going to get fired for the offensive-minded guy. All right,
guess we'll
that's
find
all.
Out.
We all know
that's
now.
All,
Connor would eat the moon if it was made of barbecue spare ribs, and that's what we all come here to hear about.
And I'd wash it down with a nice, cool Budweiser.